Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, you know what? I'm feeling dejected. Since the weekend, it's just been like a kick in the stomach. I feel like, although I'm happy that Plant and Canelo's been made, the weekend was like just a bit weird. Like, listen, at the end of the day, you got to give respect to Dennis Ugas, because Dennis Ugas did what he had to do. And you've got to respect his journey, and you've got to respect what he's come from to get to where he's at. Because, let's not forget, although we all have an affection to Manny Pacquiao, Dennis Ugas has also had a journey, and a very tough journey, a journey where, he's not had it easy. This is a guy that's had to go through a lot to get to where he's at. So you got to respect him and give him plaudits. But, it was just a bit of a kick in the stomach, because we were expecting Manny against Spence, and then Spence pulled out or we got injured, and then we ended up having a fight between Dennis Ugas, and then Manny Pacquiao gets beat by Dennis Ugas. And now it's like, okay, that it's just like, if he had lost to Spence, it would have been a big fight, big event. You would have just said Manny, but he's ended up losing to somebody that, listen, hasn't got a name. But I think Dennis Ugas is a problem for Spence and Crawford. I don't think he's an easy fight for any of those guys, but unfortunately he didn't have the name and the event wasn't big. So we just expected Manny. What people expected Manny to fight Ugas, beat him, and then there'll be another big fight. So some people were actually happy, but Dennis Ugas was overlooked by myself, by many others. Dennis Ugas is a very, very good fighter, and he proved that. He proved that against Manny Pacquiao on the weekend. Ugas is definitely somebody I'm impressed by. I like his attitude. I like the way he, how intelligent he was in the ring. And he called out Spence. He's confident. And to be honest with you, I think they're probably looking at it and thinking that Spence and Crawford looking at it that, oh, damn. We've ended up losing a huge payday against Manny Pacquiao, and potentially now we're gonna have to fight Dennis Ugas, who's a harder fight at this point, and could beat us, and we're not going to get paid anywhere near the amount of money we would have done for Pacquiao. This is why I didn't buy the Spence was, faking the injury, because I think deep down Spence knew that Manny's not the force he was, and it was a huge payday for him, and it was a passing of the torch, is what people were saying. But yeah, disappointing to say the least. Guys, Caleb Plant was there at the fight. And Caleb Plant said that he feels that he's gonna shock the world. Caleb Plant, I like his attitude, I like his confidence. It's good. It's good to know that Caleb Plant is confident and he feels that he's gonna beat Canelo. That's always good, because when a guy is an underdog like Caleb is in this fight, you want to see him confident. You want to see him saying all the right stuff. And Caleb Plant is confident. Caleb Plant is somebody, although he hasn't got the resume, the experience of Canelo Alvarez, I don't believe Caleb Plant is going to fold. I don't believe Caleb Plant is going to come and get wiped out. I think Caleb Plant is going to put in a very good performance. Is that performance going to be good enough to beat Canelo? I don't think so. But Caleb Plant believes so. Caleb Plant believes that he's going to beat Canelo Alvarez. And some of the things that he said, that he goes that, he said in the past that Canelo, he's 3-1 in his big fights and stuff. I don't agree with that. He feels that he's of that ilk of Lara, Mayweather. He feels that he's going to cause him issues like that. So, you got to... I do think Caleb Plant is going to be a tough fight. I think people are sleeping on Caleb. People are sleeping on Caleb in this fight. I think people think that Caleb is going to fold. Caleb is not the level of Canelo Alvarez, which he isn't. When you go off experience, resume, skills, Canelo right now is the best in the world. I don't think anyone can deny that. Canelo's resume, his what he's achieved in the sport of boxing, I think we just can't. We have to give Canelo a huge amount of respect, because he's the next one, the higher to Mayweather and Pacquiao, where he's the next one that I can see that's going to come close to those guys, because he has the work ethic, he has the hunger, he has that desire, and he wants to create that legacy that both guys wanted to do. So I think Canelo's the next one that's going to be remembered like Mayweather and Pacquiao. He's the next one in line. I can't see anybody else after that because nobody else has got the resume. Nobody else has got the hunger, you know, the desire to create that legacy. You know, Crawford right now, he hasn't really got that hunger. You know, he's talking about, you know, I'm happy with my legacy, this, that, and the other. He's happy with the money he's getting. Like, I don't think Crawford has that hunger. He doesn't really care. He feels he's content where he's at. Whereas Canelo's hungry. He wants more. Spence, you know, Spence is a guy, a very good fighter. But again, Spence has unfortunately been plagued with a lot of things in his way. You know, he had a car accident, now he's got an eye injury. I think Spence's career, I'm not sure how long he's going to be able to go on for, and I don't know whether he's going to be able to achieve what many people felt he would achieve. So I think Canelo's the only one that I can see in the near future that, you know, can definitely do or be compared to Mayweather and Pacquiao. I don't see anybody else. There's some of the young kids, you know, the lightweight, you know, a lot of those guys are all talk at the minute. A lot of them, you know, like we see Teofimo, very hot talent, and he beat Lomachenko, and after that he hasn't fought in how long? You know, it's almost been, he's going to be out the ring a year. And it's just like Canelo fought after him in December, right? Canelo now has gonna fight 4 times before Teofimo fights his next fight. You know, after beating Lomachenko. This is what I'm trying to say to you guys. When was the last time Ryan Garcia fought? December as well, wasn't it? Last year. When was the last time, you know, Devin Haney fought recently? But, you know, when are the last time you seen, like, these guys fighting regular? You know, Gervonta Davis had a fight. When did he fight before that? They're just very inactive. That's the problem. They're very inactive. And unfortunately, Canelo's the only one. And the fight with him and Caleb is gonna, for me, cement Canelo's legacy further. But Caleb Plant, I am looking at Caleb Plant. He looks very confident. I like his body language, and I don't think this is gonna be easy at all. I keep repeating myself because I genuinely believe it. I genuinely believe that Caleb Plant is gonna be a hard night's work for Canelo. Not easy, no easy fight at all. So yeah, I can't wait because it's gonna be a great fight. Hopefully we get a great fight. But I believe Caleb Plant is confident. Caleb Plant is confident. He's not just talking. I believe he believes he can upset the apple card. So I think we should give Caleb Plant his stripes. You know, he's earned this position. He's beat Jose Utsakatsi, and I think this is going to be a good performance by Plant. However, I think it's going to be an even better performance by Canelo Alvarez. See, a lot of people seem to think that Caleb Plant's just going to go in there and get crushed. I beg to differ. I think he's going to give Canelo problems. And I mean, when I mean Canelo problems, I mean, like, I believe Kovalev problems. You know what I mean? Like, where Canelo's down. You know, I never felt Canelo was ever in trouble against Billy Joe. I always felt like Canelo was ahead in that fight. I always felt Canelo was... I reckon Canelo may have to come from behind here, and he will come from behind. I believe Caleb Plant might nick the first 2 or 3 rounds. You know what I mean? And then I feel like, because Caleb Plant's fast. He's fast. But you know what? Thing is with Caleb Plant, I think what's going to be his weakness is the fact that he's got no punching power. Secondly, I think he fades later on. There was a clip that I saw of Caleb Plant. I don't know what fight it was again. I can't remember. But he was looking spent in that 12th round. And literally the punches that he was throwing looked terrible towards the last part of the fight. And that was against a lower level fighter, right? Where he was spent. Now imagine against Canelo Alvarez, when Canelo's hitting you to the body, wearing you out anyway, right? What is he going to look like? And someone mentioned this under the tweet, that when have you seen Canelo, even in the last round, look that bad, where he's completely spent? Never. But Canelo fights a different way. See, you've got to understand, Canelo isn't he isn't a guy that looks to outwork guys with his hand speed. And see, guys that are fast, like Khan, or guys that have fast hands and move around a lot, those guys generally get tired towards the latter end of the fight. You see most guys with that, even Andrade, for example, who's fast, he gets tired because those type of guys, what they do is they try to outwork you. They try to outbox you. You know, they try to beat you on points. So they get tired later on in the fight. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So their output towards the latter end of the fight isn't going to be the same, and they may look more horrible because they look more vulnerable because of the fact that that what you saw early on from them in the first 4 or 5 rounds, you ain't going to see that in the last 4 or 5. See, a lot of these guys that do that, like the Khans and the Andres, what they do is they'll win majority of the rounds and then they'll coast to a points victory. So in the first 4 or 5 rounds, they look explosive, they look really good, they look stellar. But then towards the back end of the fight, they don't look as good. They look, you know, they look more vulnerable. They look, you know, the fighters start countering their, you know, countering them. You know, they start timing them because they're not as fast. Their movement slows down. Do you understand? And that's what Canelo did with Amir Khan as well. You know, hit him to the body. First couple of rounds, Canelo couldn't really get a hold of Khan. You know, he's hitting him in the hitting him with body shots, but Khan was outboxing him, outworking him. But eventually Canelo wore him down, and I feel like that's what he's going to do with Plant. Plant's going to start off like a steam train, and I think Plant's going to conclusively win the first 3, maybe 3 rounds. After that, Canelo will start getting to him. Do you understand? And Canelo will start wearing him down, because here's the problem. If Plant had punching power with this hand speed, then Plant would be an issue for Canelo. Right? Because Canelo wouldn't just be able to walk him down. He'd have to respect his power. I don't think Caleb Plant's got the power for Canelo to respect it. And I think Canelo's eventually going to start walking him down, hitting him with hard shots. And eventually he's going to wear him down, and I think he's going to stop him. Not like a Khan knockout, no, but Khan was a smaller guy. Plant's a bigger man. So I believe he will stop Caleb Plant towards the latter end of the fight because of those reasons. But Caleb Plant, like I said, don't overlook Caleb Plant. This isn't an easy fight. This isn't like, because once you do that, and all the Canelo fans, once you do that, right, you're putting Canelo in a very difficult predicament. Because if Canelo now gets outboxed, right, and looks bad, then everyone's going to say Canelo's been exposed. Now, if Canelo knocks Caleb Plant out, you guys were already saying, well, Caleb was no good. So Caleb Plant is a legitimate undefeated world champion. He's a quality fighter. So by you calling Caleb a bum and this, that, and the other, you're taking away from Canelo, right? Caleb Plant is a very good fighter, right? I've seen this guy. I've seen this guy against Mike Lee, and I was impressed. Now, just because he looked bad against Caleb Truax, you know, maybe Caleb didn't come 100% for that fight. Maybe Caleb wasn't as motivated. Caleb Plant maybe a lot better against Canelo, because he knows there's going to be that fear factor, that excitement in his belly, that fear that he knows that if he makes a mistake, he could be taken out. So that will, for me, bring a better Caleb Plant inside that ring. You'll see a better Caleb Plant because of those reasons, because Caleb knows he has to be better. He can't afford to be like he was against Caleb Truax. So that's why. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. And I'll probably do a live and see you guys later in the live stream. Guys, make sure to smash that like button. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't. And guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.